Everybody, welcome. Yep, we are here, and this is the Healing Hour. One of the things I want to make sure all of you know right out of the beginning, we started it off in the last hour, and we talked about the fact that we have healing. We have healing that is right in front of us, calling us to reach out. We have healing that's saying to us, please, we need you to help heal. And so what does that mean? Does that mean that you're like me and you got a mystery disease? Well, this is the Healing Hour with Dr. Sharon Martin. This is about bridging the mystical and the scientific. And today, Doc Martin, as you know, in this live call-in show, is taking it on. It is about simmer down, soothing the inflammatory nature of life with energy healing. That's today. Take down this number, live call-in show. This is for you, 1-800-930-2819. You are going to get to experience healing with Doc Martin, and it doesn't matter what's ailing you. You may be thinking, oh, I don't, it's not worth for me to call in. Yeah. 1-800-930-2819. We're starting right at the top. Benny's going to let me know who's in the queue, and you will get to experience healing with Doc Martin today. Somebody that understands, the multidimensional nature of healing. As a doctor and a shaman, this is something that when you step into the full range of becoming who you were meant to become, you create something that's called maximum medicine. But then you also create something that's so much more, that's in response to the times we live in, but also in response to her career, what she has seen, in the medical profession, what she has seen as a shamanic healer. So think about when you call in today, how you will get that beautiful blend of that energy, the bridge that most of us need today. Doc Martin, great to have you.
Hi, thank you for that intro.
I love this topic. Simmer down. Simmer down.
Oh. Well, I think I probably came up with the topic, as always, for myself, as well as for everybody. You remember Dr. Hugh Len, the Hawaiian shaman, and the Ho'oponopono. The idea that whatever energy we hold in ourselves is the energy out there in the collective. And I have to admit, I've been inflamed on many issues. And I don't want that to make my body more toxic. It is a polarized world out there. And we could easily be enraged all the time. And I could easily be enraged when I see things that I think are just plain wrong or dumb or cruel but rage is not, the point of this is rage is not helpful, not to us and not to us as we want to continue bringing ourselves forward into the world. So this is about simmer down. How do you dare to operate with neutrality? Can you really let go of what you know in your heart to be true? Can you really just put it aside for a minute and just step into the place of neutrality? And that doesn't mean you're going to stop believing what you believe. Nobody's going to tell you to stop believing what you believe. But park it over here and go into a neutral zone, because that's where you can find some peace. And that's where your body can replenish, because all of this triggers of inflammation is really not helping us.
Do you want to hear something really at the common sense, basic level?
Yes.
So I'm ordering new workstations for our studio. And you work with me, so you know we've evolved, our technology is done. We're going to, we're going to be offering many things to people in the world, especially in January. But it required us with COVID to do things differently in our workspace, in our studio space. Benny sits in this beautiful studio all by himself, and he pretty much sits there away from others all day long, but we're a little bit different. And so I order the new equipment, the new studio workstations, really the coolest looking thing, right? It's great. It's going to consolidate everything. But I don't think. And I thought, oh, I'm just going to order 2 of them. And I just ordered 2 of them and going to have it to the office, only to find out that the weight of these things is so heavy. They're not put together yet. They're so heavy that they are going to have to take them on a flatbed, and they can't bring them upstairs. Now, what is it about that is like a no-brainer? Who cares? Okay, they're on a thing. You get the rolling thing in, and then, but see, I think in any other day and time, that would have been a who cares? You just figure it out. You make sure somebody is downstairs. But wait a minute, we're working, we're sheltering in place. Oh, no, we have to come in now and help Jessica unload them, unbox them, bring them up. But then what? Where are we going to put them until we can build them? Oh my God, we're 6 feet. I could go on about this. We're 6 feet apart, and we have to make sure we do that. And where are we going to put? And you could feel in that moment, simmer down was needed.
Well, yeah,
And
you were going
it's a
over the edge.
silly thing, right?
Mhm.
But I did, because I prepared for the show today. So I'm looking at all your notes and what you're going to talk about today. And you're talking about there's so many triggers out there in the world. And Sharon, one of the things that I want to talk about is sometimes we know the triggers and sometimes we don't.
No, sometimes we don't. And when our lives have been so topsy-turvied, nothing it goes the way it used to go. Everything has a potential for a trigger because we are not in a groove right now. We are so out of our elements with every single step. You know, one of the
How did
things
you
that
know it though? I want to talk to you about this because you said that, look, you looked introspectively. And of course I would expect you to do that. I mean, I work with you. I know you personally. I know you would look inside introspectively and bring something forward for people to really
I
learn
was
from.
getting in arguments.
Ah,
I
okay.
was getting in, I was confrontational. And it's not, this isn't this, I didn't make this saying up, but if you look around and you've got the same behavior going on with multiple people, you have to realize you can't blame each one of them. What's the common denominator? When it happens over and over and over and over, it's sort of like, what is, Judge Judy, does it say, I was in too much confrontation. The thing that I'm faced with every day that's very fear provoking. Now, I don't live in a big city environment. I don't live in a hot spot. I am not an ICU. I used to be an ICU doctor, but I'm not an ICU doctor in a place where people are literally infected and dying in front of me. I can't imagine how stressful that is. But I have the little things when I'm worried. How do I keep my staff in the office protected? How do I know which person has a disease or not? We have signs on the 2 doors that you have to walk through that have big signs. Masks are required. Why do we believe in masks? That's the best we got to offer. And I take care of older people with many illnesses. I'm not going to risk them. And yesterday, a guy was up at the window without a mask, raging about how he would not wear a mask.
Oh,
And so then you're in confrontation by having to say you've got to leave. Well, a doctor saying, I don't want to take care of you, internally, that is not a very good feeling.
no.
and to be able to find neutrality to say, we're doing the best we can for our older, sicker people. I'm sorry. We'll be happy to do a virtual visit and Zoom call you. But how do you walk past two doors? Anyway, so there, that kind of stuff, those are triggers. I would never have expected that. You would think two doors, each with a sign that says masks are required, and it's a medical facility, that you would pay attention. So triggers are everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's polarized.
Yeah. And I want to talk about that when we come back from break, because,
Okay.
you know, I shared this on the last hour and it was, and I know you've heard me talk about this. When I was age 5, my uncles gave me a pair of boxing gloves. Now, why do you give a kid at age 5 boxing gloves? You know, I think one of my uncles, maybe Uncle Dickie, must have been psychic, but I had those gloves and I wore those gloves. And at some point in my life, I had to decide to take those gloves off. And what was it that, I don't know, did I have sort of a kundalini? I don't think so. But I did have a moment of personal growth. We feel like we must fight for what we believe in. And the last time I saw this energy was in 1971 or 2.
I was going to say late 60s, early 70s.
Exactly. Yes, probably. That's right. I think you're right. I think it was earlier than that, because I remember I wasn't of drinking age, but I drank anyway. So let's take a short break. When we come back,
let's talk about the things we did that we weren't supposed to do.
Oh my gosh. I had a moment right there where I actually saw myself back then on a protest line. But do we really have to fight for what we believe in? Do we or don't we? That's what Doc Martin's going to talk about. And we are doing live on air readings, energy healing, things that may be affecting you that you don't know about. You're going to get them today with Doc Martin. 1-800-930-2819. Phone lines are open. Facebook is open. Our Transformation Talk Radio question box is open. Tell us what you want some help with. Doc Martin will help you. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. You're listening to the Healing Hour with Dr. Sharon Martin and me, Dr. Pat. We're talking about simmer down, soothing inflammatory nature of life. This show is for all of you. This is a live call-in reading show. This is about getting a sense of where you are and getting some healing done during this show today with Dr. Sharon Martin. Later on in this show, she is going to take us through a guided energy healing to soothe the flames, to calm the inflammation. And you know, inflammation is such a great word for this. For those of you out there that want to find out more about Doc Martin, go to drsharonmartin.com, drsharonmartin.com. We've got lots planned. She's going to be sharing some of her stone blessings with you in the weeks to come. But today it's about you. It's about helping with the inflammation that may be going on in your heart, that may be going on in your soul. I know for me, this idea of inflammation rings true for me in so many ways, but not quite in the way that Doc Martin has been able to help others. So let's talk about this. We feel like we must fight for what we believe in, don't we?
Am I saying stop believing or wanting things to be better and having a deep, deep intention for things to be better? I'm not saying that, but I'm saying right now, in this time, in the world, in the galaxy, in the universe, the upheaval of forces, and we've talked about that previously on a previous show with Dr. Patrice Fields. There are forces unleashed, not only from the depths of the earth, but from the galaxy, that are total upheaval, with the end result to come out better. But right now, it's so topsy-turvy that if you stick your neck out and jump into a fight, you're likely to get damaged in more ways than just somebody saying bad words to you. This is not the time to wave your flag and stand out there ready to take the bullets, because the bullets are bigger, energetically bigger than they've been before. So now's not the time to actually actively fight. Now is the time to enter into a position of neutrality, and the time to turn it over to the big guns. There are energetic forces and beings that are working this that are far more powerful than we are. Let them handle it. We are puny, energetically puny relative to these big guns. So, I've never gone to AA. I can imagine these times could really provoke a person's falling back into addiction. But the serenity prayer is really, really appropriate here.
Yeah.
And to really recognize that we do not have control. We do not have control of the rage that's popping up from cultures that feel they've been oppressed for years, from the rage for people who are watching and saying, why are you destroying things? My city's falling apart, from the rage of, are they going to cheat us again in this election? From the rage of whatever enrages you. We are not able to effect anything right now. Nothing that big. We've got to call in the big guns. And that doesn't mean give up your faith. And that doesn't mean don't hold the energy, but don't step out into the fray.
One of the things that I love about this is that sometimes we need to have a healing moment like today in order to allow ourselves to build up that inner strength to actually stand for what we believe in. And I love that you're not telling people not to believe in something or not to stand for something, but I think about this like bandwidth. I know for myself in my life, I don't have unlimited bandwidth. And we now know all of our service providers that say they have unlimited bandwidth really don't. Like, I mean, like how many messages about your internet being unstable do you want to get in a day? So it's not like that idea.
That'll enrage you.
Oh my God. I just, as a matter of fact, I just flipped over my wireless because I kept having a problem during the last show. But here's the thing. If we are going to stand up for what we believe in, or if we are going to heal ourselves, we have to understand at an energetic level, or at least I do, I have to understand when I am getting ready to take that next step, and that's one step too many, and the level of buildup or energy or whatever I have inside of me that I didn't take the moment to heal, right? And I didn't stop for a moment and say, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop helping the food banks get food for the infants, right? I'm not going to stop making food for people with HIV that you deliver to the home. I'm not going to stop that's not me. I'm not going to do it. I also know, contrary to anybody that emails me, because I've done 2 shows now that are not political, but they are talking about things that are being said, right? About people that affect me. I'm a woman, right? So I've done a couple of shows. But no, I'm not running for Congress. That is not happening. I'm not. I'm not interested in it. Forget it. But I need to make sure that I'm clear out the bats in the belfry.
In your belfry. So let's talk a little bit about this, because that's very true. It takes energy to fight. And it takes energy to come out, and eventually you will be depleted. The act of fighting is depleting. So you are going to need, I call it rest, capital R-E, reset, S-T, stabilize. You need to reset and stabilize, because you need to rejuvenate, because you cannot put your whole good energy forward into the world when you're depleting it. It's sort of like it's little sparks. It's sparks in your electrical circuit going out everywhere as the battery's getting worn down. And so we got to just, now is the time to reset and stabilize, to hold on tight, to find neutrality. And if you go to the food bank or you go to serve meals to the homeless, if somebody comes around and starts griping about some policy that the government hasn't done or does do, you don't get into a fight with them. That's the point. You just stay neutral, because people are inflamed, and what could be a simple fight will soon escalate. I mean, you see it in the news all the time. By the way, I stopped watching the news, but the last thing I did watch before I said I can't take it anymore is neighbors who had meals together for 10 years, and then the guy shoots the 5-year-old kid in the head.
Right.
People are tripped. They are at the psychotic break right now. Everything is turmoil. Neutrality. Just hold that center. And that doesn't mean don't believe and don't love and don't wish for things to be better. Just don't fight for them right now.
But this is the work that you're doing. I mean, we're talking about it during the show, but there are many people, and I'm one of these people. I was listening to another show the other day, and I had a moment where I wanted to call in. And just right before I dialed the number, I didn't call in. And because what you're offering, and I just want to say this to people, whether you're not ready to call in to receive a healing or a reading from Doc Martin today, she will work with you one-on-one, because we're in a stage that I do want to go back to my protest days if I could. I was that kid. I got this from my stepmom. So I didn't just pop up and all of a sudden didn't know what I was feeling. I had a stepmom that was like, you got to fight for what you believe in. This is what I believe in. This is what's going on. This is what's happening with women. This is what's happening people of color. I mean, my stepmom in her soft southern voice, with the long red nails and the big red lips, with the cigarette hanging out of her mouth during dinner, would say, well, girls, what do y'all think about the shooting today? And we'd be like, what? No, this was my stepmom. And she helped us understand that we get to choose.
But the thing here, I think that, and there is something very validating about being so in touch with what you believe in, and energizing about wanting to fight for it. But stepping out there to join a fight, the rules are not the same right now.
Not at all.
They are not the usual rules of engagement. And anything can happen, and anything probably will happen. And then all of a sudden you are way out of your comfort zone.
We are. And Sharon, to your point, we can see the polarization, but boy, we need your wisdom about how not to be triggered, and to even know when that's building up. What are you calling it? Simmer down? To know when we're simmering. But this can be healed, and this is the work you're doing. You are helping people not dismiss what they're feeling, but understand the nature of it, and know that, man, before I have an absolute meltdown in the grocery store, maybe there was something I could have really pinpointed that was really
right. And we will spend about 15 minutes or so at the end of this hour to help us all go to the place of neutrality. So that's available for everyone today.
I had to go out into the desert at a seriously important part of my life. I mean, I could sit here and I could understand maybe about half of what you're really talking about, because you are this person that has lived all sides of the fence. You know, you walk on both sides of medicine, and there are more than two, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you know, you're creating maximum medicine and the understanding of how all of this works. I mean, this is what you're creating because you live it, you breathe it, you see it. But your studies to become a shaman healer, those studies must have opened something in you to see a version of us energetically where we don't have to go through full-blown inflammation. And I think that's part of the message today, isn't it?
Yeah, it does not have to take you under right now.
Mm.
And to recognize, to take a quiet moment to realize that when you get energized and then the next step is enraged and then the next step is over the top, that is doing stuff literally to your body. So you are not necessarily changing the world, you're changing yourself, and not in a good way. And energetically, which feeds, as we know, to the physicality. So it's now is the time. Just
It is the time. Let's take a short break. When we come back, a very special guided energy healing to soothe the flames and understand how to find the neutral spot and hold on tight. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the Healing Hour with Dr. Sharon Martin and me, Dr. Pat. This show is about healing. And today, Doc Martin is talking about simmer down. How do you soothe the inflammatory nature of life right now with energy healing? And, you know, this is really the key to so many things. For those of you that want to find out more about Doc Martin, how to work with her, go to drsharonmartin.com. That's drsharonmartin.com. You know, Dr. Martin, now we're going to talk a little bit about how do we use energy healing to soothe the flames? And I love that description. How do we do it? You're going to have a special meditation for us today, correct?
right. So let's talk a little for the theory behind it. And then if you're ready, we'll just go into the quiet space and get a little reset and stabilize. When our energy bodies are out of whack, that shows up in our physical form and our emotional form. And so our energy bodies, I think one has to be willing to accept its existence. So if you're somebody who doesn't believe in that, you might not find any help in that arena. And then you have to have some awareness of its existence. So one of the major, should I say, paradigms is the chakra system. And most people know the chakra system. Those are energy centers where the outside energetic world comes through a funnel shaped vortex into our physical form and then informs our entire physical body. So working with that, but an energy healer who knows all that, you don't have to go learn all that yourself. But an energy healer is able to, through multiple ways they've learned, to sense what's out of balance, to sense what's activated that shouldn't be, to even sense when you're so tumbling with energies that aren't your own, when your boundaries are too porous. So that's something a energy healer, many are trained through Barbara Brennan School, through Donna Eden School, through shamanic medicine, the Four Winds, Michael Harner, Sandra Ingerman, many people have approached this. So healing in the energy realm by its very nature trickles down and informs the physical and the emotional. So I want to spend some minutes today helping us collectively go to that place where we can be soothed, because right now the world is erupted in flames, energetic flames, and we are in fire mode, and that's not helping us. So if you're okay, Pat, and you don't have any other questions, I'd like to transition to that now, if I may.
Absolutely.
All right. So if you're driving, please pull over to the side of the road or wait and listen to this later. And know that any guided meditation I do will bring about an energetic change. So there is an energetic transmission happening. So I want you to just, if you would, follow my voice and just take some nice deep breaths and allow yourself to relax. Relax is a big word for right now. Relax is something we really haven't done. We're on edge about everything that's out there. And our breath is our way that we can easily track our awareness and follow the inhale and then the exhale. And allow your belly to soften and allow your shoulders to drop on the exhale. And just feel that crazy world spinning around in your head is just going to take a minute. It's going to go sit on the park bench and wait for you. Your crazy world, your crazy energy in your head, it's not going to ever leave you. It's always there. But let's just ask it to take a minute and step aside. Step aside. And bringing your awareness, again, tracking your breath in with your nose, out with your mouth. And as you exhale, just feel yourself softening. And I want you to take your awareness as I guide you. Just follow where I take you, and the energetics will come along. So our human mind always needs to have something to latch on to. So let's latch on to my voice and latch on to the story that I'm going to tell you. And let's just take a walk now out a path through the woods to a beautiful glade where the pine needles have fallen underneath the trees, and you're along a creek. And you can see little small trout in this small creek, maybe even a salamander darting between the rocks. And you find a very soft pine needle padded area for you to lie down. And as you're lying down, maybe you're uncomfortable, so you adjust, move a stick out from under your hip, pack the pine needles up a little further under your head, and feel your body sink now, sink down into the earth. And I've already opened sacred space, so know that everything that's happening here is only as your higher self allows, and only what is just right for you. And only the beings who are devoted to the highest form of spiritual law are present. And just feel yourself sinking. And I want you to ask your energy field to ground. Even if you don't understand that intellectually, your field does. Ground, center, balance, and align. And any parts that are out of kilter will now be restored. And ground, center, balance, and align. And you are turning yourself over to the forces bigger than you, the forces of the earth, the forces of nature. And you are trusting your higher self and your spirit guides to assist you here. Ground, center, balance, and align. And I want you to just use your mind's eye to look throughout your body, whether you're looking at your cells of the organs, you're looking at your skin, you're looking at the places where your thoughts sent little neurologic messages all down throughout your system. Anything that's flamed, anything that's irritated, anything that got too hyped up, I want you to energetically take these places and energetically carry them over to the creek where the water is spilling over the rocks. And I want you to soothe these places. And that kind of energetically works both ways. You're carrying the things that you don't want to be so hot and bothered to the stream. And energetically, the stream is washing through you as I speak. Feel the restoration as you are soothed and cooled and restored. Allow the fire energy to subside. Those dragon companions of yours that activate fire breath, that go to the fights for you, that forge their way out into the world for you. Ask them to take a nap under the trees and bring forth your allies, whether angel realm, power animals, nature beings, dragons, those that have soothing and calming balm, and ask them to help here. And I just had an image of the pot marigold, which is a calendula flower, beautiful oranges and yellows. And calendula is really wonderful in a salve for soothing irritation, for burns, for wounds. And calendula just came forward to apply her energy to this process. And just allow the brook to carry away the excess fire that you have. And allow the brook to give you a little more of the cooling element of water and the breeze of air and the holding and cradle of earth. And just using your mind's eye to stabilize your energy field with all your helpers here. Feel yourself come back into balance. Ground, center, balance, and align. Your elements are coming back into balance. And as they do, especially in connection here with this beautiful nature spot, these energies are also communicating with the minerals of your body, the minerals that are energetically in connection with the earth. And everything is becoming more and more restored and stabilized. the big rest, reset, and stabilize. And as you're laying here along this brook, take one last minute to call forward for you, for your awareness to take with you, for the future in the next days and weeks, months. Call forward some energetic being to be your ally. Is that an animal? Is that a nature spirit? Is it an ascended master? Whatever you want to help you, call forward right now. And you sit up from your place under the trees, and that being or animal or energy form appears before you. And you ask, how can you help me in the days and weeks ahead? What can you bring to me to help me stay stabilized? And you have a small conversation and you hear what gifts are brought to you. And then, in always, because we believe in right relationship, you say, what do I do to honor you and to earn your being with me? What do I do? What would you want me to do? And see what you're guided to hear. So you have asked this ally to come with you. You have found what help it brings. And you have asked, in order to stay in good balance, well, what do I need to do to honor you coming with me? What do I need to do to earn you being an ally for me? And once you've established a good relationship, and then you ask, can you come with me into the future? And if the answer is no, you say, is there anything I could change to have you come with me? If the answer is still not at this time, the answer is still no, don't despair. Just know that you come back to this glade next to the creek and interact again. So as we bow our heads in gratitude for all of the energetic healers here today, feeling restored, reset, and stabilized, you stand up to leave this glade and you feel yourself integrated and consolidated. And come on and walk back out of the forest. Back now to the here and now, because you're stepping into your future, reset and stabilized. You are now restored with an increased amount of neutrality to face the future and to know that you are supported by the higher beings around you. And know that you can come back to this recording anytime or take yourself on your own journey to the glade. And come on back now, and we're here.
Let's just take a moment and breathe that in, everyone. For those of you that may be just tuning in, we will have this video available to all of you once Olivia has a chance to do some editing to it. Dr. Martin, thank you so much for today. Thank you for that
Oh,
beautiful meditation.
it was, it was good for me too. So you're
Mm,
very welcome.
mm.
And
I
I'm
want,
selfish. I get my own goodies out of
I
it.
know, that's what I was just going to say. I get my own goodies from listening. I just want to ask you this last question. Please, again, let folks know how they can find out about more about you, how they can work with you. And then I'd love to know your personal message and what you'd like to leave us with today.
Okay. So any challenge you have, whether it's health or finding your purpose, I'm happy to work with you. That's what I do. And my website is drdrsharonmartin.com. And on that website, there is a toll-free number and a place you can email me. And I would love to help you and help. My purpose, what's my message? We can be more and we can be maximum and we don't have to have limits. And so if I can help you step into a more empowered place, more aware of your destiny, more in control, that's what I'm all about. So I'm here for you.
And thank you. Powerful show today. And, this idea to simmer down is certainly something that I know all of us are taking in, even at times when we think it's outside of our realm. Thank you for everything, Doc Martin. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you, Benny.
And thanks to all of you for tuning us in and turning us on. And if you have missed any part of this, it will be up shortly. If you go to Facebook, Transformation Talk Radio, it's already there. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys.